Hi, my name is Shiji Pakwal, and I'm here today to talk about a subject that is very relevant to the state of the world today, the refugee crisis. This is a test of our shared humanity and ethical duty, not just a question of international politics. The debate is complex, but I'll be focusing on two main points: the effect refugees have on the economy and the moral obligations of countries to provide refuge. Let's start by talking about the economic issues raised by the refugee crisis. It's a popular misperception that refugees hurt host nation economies. This is by no means the whole picture, though. In the United States, refugees have made profound economic contributions and integration. According to a report published by the American Immigration Council, they paid $25 billion in taxes and produced an astounding $93.6 billion in household income in 2019 alone. The idea that refugees are just financial liabilities is refuted by this. Some of the counter-arguments frequently bring up the issues with local wages and job competition. Although these worries are legitimate, the World Bank presents a more comprehensive viewpoint when it says that refugees bring both positive and negative impact on host communities. Due to the rising demand for service and increased consumption, refugee inflows frequently result in economic growth in the affected areas. This is further supported by the Brookings Institution, which points out how resilient economies like Jordan and Lebanon have been to significant refugee inflows. Let's now turn our attention to the main topic of our conversation, the moral obligation of nations. In terms of ethical duty, the International Law and Policy Brief notes that treaties require host nations to give refugees acceptable conditions of stay. These requirements are moral requirements as well as legal requirements. The situation of those who have been compelled to escape their homes because of violence or persecution is one that we cannot overlook. The Prindle Institute's discussion of the moral complexities pushes us to think beyond political boundaries, recalling that there is not one certain go-to answer when addressing a problem this complex is important. This requires an international response in which no one nation must carry the entire weight. A poignant viewpoint is provided by Georgetown University's Berkeley Center, which states that the duty to respond falls first upon those whose proximity to the crisis gives them better understanding of how to do so. This emphasizes our shared humanity and applies not only to neighboring countries, but to the entire global community. So in conclusion, the evidence indicates that the effects of refugees are not entirely negative, notwithstanding the validity of economic worries. Moreover, the moral obligation surpasses financial debates. It concerns defending human rights and dignity in the face of hardship. It is our responsibility as members of the international community to welcome people in need, not through just our physical borders, but also with open hearts. This is about being on the right side of history, not just abiding by international law. And by doing this, we uphold the principles that make our societies humane and forward-thinking. Our treatment of refugees is a sign of our humanity as much as our ability to respond. It's a chance to show our support for one another, absorb knowledge from many cultural backgrounds, and greatly enhance our communities. In addition to helping people rewrite their tales, we who have welcomed those who have endured unspeakable adversity also enhance our own narrative as a worldwide community that's dedicated to justice, empathy, and inclusivity. Because in the end, what we do today will be seen as turning points in the history of how we acknowledge and respect human rights and dignity.